welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Today is the weekly energy card reading, and what that is it's where you the viewer, choose one of three normally tarot decks, and from that deck I will go ahead and pull a card spread to give the general energies for the next 7 days. Now, if you'd like to skip straight to your reading, the timestamps are listed in the description box below. And today I wanted to first apologize for my voice. I've been a little sick today, so I do apologize, but I'm going to do my best to not let it affect the sound quality of the reading. I wanted to do something kind of special today, since this reading would be for the dates of February 2nd through February 9th. And since that includes Groundhog's Day, I wanted to go ahead and do a reading of nothing but animal cards. So I do have 3 sets of animal cards here and a corresponding gemstone. So I have the Animal Allies cards by Jessica Swift. I've got the Fauna cards by Rebecca Lefebvre, and then I also have the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. And then I do also have gemstone animals. We've got a goldstone frog, a Untitled turtle, and a rose quartz rabbit. And to clarify the reads, I am going to go ahead and use the traditional tarot deck. I have a new deck called the Spacious Tarot. I absolutely love this deck. The images are just absolutely gorgeous and very natural. So I'll go ahead and I'll freeze the video. I do ask that you go ahead and choose the deck from your intuition, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. We're going to start with the first deck, which is the Animal Allies with our goldstone frog. Try saying that 3 times fast in a froggy voice. So, deck number 1. What is the energies for your week? So, what is the energies for deck number 1's week? Okay. Okay, go 1, 2. Read these 2 together. It's actually quite beautiful, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify to deck number 1. Beginning of the week. Middle of the week. Oh, wow. And end of the week. Try a little bit more. Almost there. End of the week. Okay, that one wanted to pop out a minute ago. All right, guys. So, deck number 1. Your week is the beginning of the week. You got the Mouse and you got the 3 of Pentacles. Now, I love the 3 of Pentacles in this deck just because there's a great video here on YouTube that talks about the way that trees, especially old ancient trees, actually speak to one another. There's a language that what it is there's a special kind of fungus in the roots of the trees that transmits messages or information from one tree to another. It also the fungi also transmit nutrients to help smaller trees grow from the nutrients of the larger trees. So when I look at the 3 of Pentacles and see that kind of image, what I think is lovely is I think it definitely speaks about the camaraderie, like the communication between people. And normally it's in a work sense, like cooperation at work, but it can also mean just cooperation in general, even though it usually pertains to work. Now, the mouse The mouse usually means small but mighty. I think in the official booklet for this deck, the mouse has a little bit of a different meaning, but I kind of read it as the Lenormand kind of meaning. It is focus and attention to detail, scrutiny, and organization. But if you kind of go with a more Lenormand reading, the mouse can also mean kind of worry or anxiety. It's kind of something that's squirreling away. So there might be something pressing going on at work. It could be maybe you're coaching people, or maybe there's just cooperation with a coworker that you're worried about. But that's going to be your energy towards the beginning of the week. Definitely just kind of means that you got to keep organized. It might be organizing some kind of meeting or training between people. Maybe you're cross-training for a position, but it definitely means, this also can be a home context where maybe you need to get several people organized. Maybe you run a sports team, or just in your household you have to keep the cooperation between everyone going, and there might be something at the beginning of the week that's giving you a little bit of anxiety about that, where you feel like you have to watch it closely or organize it better. Now by the middle of the week, you got the snake, and then you also got the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Swords. And oh gosh, the Nine of Swords in this deck so speaks to me, because look at that. You see this little bunny rabbit. He looks like he's just cowering, and you know that most bunny rabbits are usually very spry. They hop around, and this one looks like he's just paralyzed with fear, like if he makes any sudden move that those knives are going to come get him, right? And then I love the Ace of Cups. It almost looks 3D in the way that you can see through the cup, through to the mountains, and it's such a beautiful image. But here I'm definitely getting that, especially with the mouse at the beginning of the week, I have a feeling that there's definitely some kind of anxiety about starting something new. You're very afraid to start something new. It could be a new project. It could be a project that you've been working on, and maybe you've been, just brainstorming it and trying to bring it to everyone's attention. But when I see the snake, I see a few things. The snake can definitely mean healing. It can also mean transformation, because the snake sheds its skin, or it can also mean deception. So you can kind of take it as it resonates. In this scenario, I'm definitely getting that there's some kind of anxiety about some kind of emotional beginning that you're almost trying to keep quiet. Like there's something about this that's just making you a little, nervous. You feel like there's some kind of either new, emotional idea, or some kind of, this could very well be a new love as well, but or a declaration of love, but it's got you all wrapped up in your head, like you are just seriously worried. And the fact that this kind of means communication and, something, weighing on your mind, squirreling away your thoughts, and then the snake meaning healing, I think that there might be some kind of dispute, or some kind of just small grievance, a small one, between people. It could be at work or at home, and that you really are worried about it. You're trying to get a handle on it, and by the middle of the week you're really going to be trying to think of a way to heal. Like, you see how this is anxiety over this new cup. It's almost as if you're trying to think of a way to make this situation better. Either that, or if you were involved with this this kind of anxiety, you're looking for a way to get away from those swords, right? You're looking for a way. It almost looks like this rabbit is like trying to defend the cup, right? He's staying in place. He's not moving, but he's terrified, right? It's almost as if, you know, he's afraid those swords are gonna, you know, come after him. So in the middle of the week, I definitely see it as some kind of healing. Also, the fact that you kind of see stripes here and you see stripes here, I think you're trying to brainstorm or trying to think of a way to heal from some kind of situation, but it definitely involves the cooperation of more than one person. And towards the end of the week, you got the eagle and the swan. And these are two of my most favorite cards. The eagle, just like a bald eagle, talks about keeping an eagle eye on things, but also just being very, very shrewd, you know, getting a bird's eye view about it. And so, you know, vision, perception, freedom, you know, a chance to soar above, you know. And then the swan is about, let me go ahead and read it, seeing your own inner beauty, emotional sensitivity, grace, and self-empowerment. So I think whatever situation has you anxiety prone at the beginning of the week towards the middle, you're really going to rise above it by the end of the week, and you're going to be handling this situation with a lot of grace. In the beginning of the week, you probably felt like it was a little bit out of hand. You had a lot of anxiety. I'm seeing a lot of anxiety with these two cards, and it's almost as if by the middle of the week you're going to go through some kind of transformation or some kind of healing to make this situation better. Now, by the end of the week, you're going to be seeing it from a whole new perspective. And what I love about the swan is that real swans in real life, they paddle really furiously under the surface, but you don't see that. You just see them gliding across the water as if it were effortless. So I do think that you are going to be handling this situation from a mature perspective, and you're really going to be managing it with a lot of grace. Either that, or it might be taking a lot of energy, but from the outside it looks like you're doing it seamlessly. And this is really lovely too. It almost has the same colors if you look at it as the swan. But the Three of Wands is, it's you see how these wands look like they're, you know, like they're flares lighting the path, right? And the Three of the Wands is progress. It's having made a choice and then following through with that choice. So the Three of Wands is really nice for that reason. It means that you're continuing forward and that you're actually seeing some kind of progression with something, and it's very bright. You see there's a path that goes into the distance, and with it being the same kind of purplish hues that are around the swan, I really think that you're going to be following that path with a lot of grace. You're going to be doing it very seamlessly. So I think that's a really wonderful week, guys. I think that's really awesome. So we'll go ahead and put your cards away. I really love this card. This is actually turning out great, guys. I was a little worried. I wasn't sure of the tarot deck, if I would be able to read the animal cards on them by themselves. But now the second deck, we got the Flora deck, and oh gosh, okay, here, let me pause a minute. We got the Untitled Turtle, and here, hold on a minute, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm sorry about that. There's two decks by the same author, and they're sibling decks. They're sister, brother, or sister maybe. It's Flora and Fauna, and the flora is plants, and the fauna are animals. So I grabbed the wrong one at first. I was trying to give you turtles, not tulips. So let's go ahead, and this is deck number 2, the Fauna deck with the Untitled Turtle. Let's go ahead and see what are your energies for the next week. What are your energies? That cardinal really wanted to come out. We'll go ahead and take these 3. All right, got lightning bug on top. And in the beginning of the week, what do we have? What are our energies? Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. energies for the middle of the week. Oh, we got a flipper. We got a flipper. Ooh, we got some major arcana going here, guys. And what are our energies for the end of the week? Ooh, we got a trilogy of majors, y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first card is the Cardinal, and these are really lovely. It actually has pen and watercolor, and so the Cardinal is authenticity. It is easy to make assumptions about Cardinal based on his vibrant color, but this would be a hasty deduction. In truth, he is not self-important. On the contrary, he has a healthy understanding of his place. He is neither bold nor shy, extravagant nor haughty. His brilliant color is a true likeness of his authentic self, modestly confident and uninclined to brag, so he finds no reason to shy away from his hue. He teaches us to embrace our uniqueness and discover the power of our authenticity. And underneath the Cardinal, you got the Magician, guys. And if you look at the Rider-Waite-Smith, the traditional Magician actually has a very red cloak. So I think at the beginning of the week, guys, I think you're going to be manifesting a lot. You're going to be utilizing your power. And just like it said, he doesn't shy away. He's not proud. The Cardinal is not proud, nor is he shy. He just kind of is what he is. And I think by the beginning of the week, you're going to be using your resources to create something. And you're going to do it kind of without any apprehension of I kind of get a darn what they think kind of attitude from this combination, because it's going to be kind of like you're doing something boldly. And this could be in any area of your life. It could be money-wise, it can be work-wise or home-wise. But I really get a strong sense with the Magician. The Magician uses the elements, and you see it. He's got a wand, a sword, a cup, a pentacle. He uses the elements to create everything that he desires in life. And here I'm seeing that you do it without, at the beginning of the week, you're just going to have kind of like a starter energy, like an energy of just really wanting to get started, to get things going in the direction that you want to. And I know this is just a weekly energy, but if you kind of look on that as it's like a smaller start to something on a larger scale. He's starting to put the building blocks in place. Here I kind of also get a vibe that maybe you wanted to start something and you hadn't really told anybody about it. Maybe you were going back to school, or maybe you started dating someone and no one knew, or just something like that. I just kind of get the feeling that, with the Magician, it's kind of like, it's almost like coming out to the masses and showing people what you're manifesting. So, and you're doing it without any hesitation. You're saying, okay, this is what I want in life. This is what I want. And no apologies. You're doing it without apologies at the beginning of the week. Now, the second row that you got is you got the Pelican and you got the Fool. And the Pelican, real quick, is optimism. Oh gosh. Pelican enjoys a life of transience. Inspired by possibility, he averts traditional norms. Unmistakably unique in form, he plunges headlong into each experience, harvesting gusto from each wave of opportunity. Unattached to expectations and adverse to unnecessary burden, he is guided by his persistent optimism. Pelican encourages us to enthusiastically forage through life, resting momentarily only to embrace it in earnest once again. And how perfect is that, guys? Because you got it next to the Fool. And the Fool is that person stepping off the cliff, right? He's expecting the world to catch him, right? He has no worries, no fears. And this is so awesome, guys, because I really think, but by the middle of the week, I think you're going to be getting things started at the beginning of the week, and by the middle of the week, you're really going to be like, let's do this, let's jump into this. I know this is going to go well, and you're just going to have this kind of enthusiasm for what you're doing. Now, by the end of the week, you got the Wolf and you got the Hermit. Now this is kind of a turn, because we've got really strong beginnings and manifestation, and then we got the leap of faith, you jump in head first into something, and now we're going to kind of pull into more of an instinctual energy. By the end of the week, you got wolf, and there goes instinct. What do we say? A creature of solitude yet highly pack-bound, wolf serves as a strong intuitive guide for those seeking a stronger connection to their innate gifts and talents. He encourages us to follow our intuition. Confronted with a tenuous and often severe connection to his environment, wolf depends on his instincts to survive his rugged landscape. Leading with conviction, he reminds us of roads less traveled. In his example, he demonstrates the possibilities when we trust ourselves to face adversity. So definitely, guys, I think by the end of the week, you're going to have so much stuff started. It's almost like you're coming out and telling people, or I really get a show more than tell vibe. I think you're going to start activities, like you're going to maybe you change your relationship status on Facebook or something. It could be something as small as that, or you just start on a project that's like out in the open where everybody can see, oh my gosh, look at what Cardinal's building, right? And you're doing that. Look at the expression on his face. He, like you said, he's got no pride and no shame. He's just kind of like, this is what I do, this is what I want. And then by the middle of the week, you're really plunging into it. Now, by the end of the week, I feel like you're going to be kind of trusting your instincts with how this process is going. Again, you're going to be kind of 1 week into something. I do think that this project is kind of starting at the beginning of the week. So by the end of the week, you're going to kind of pull back a little bit. You might be kind of a little bit more solitude. Now, the thing about the wolf is that he does work in packs, but then the wolves do go off on their own, but then they return to the pack. So what I'm kind of thinking is maybe, I'm getting kind of that you're the wolf at the end of the week, and that just like you see the hermit goes up into the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith shows the hermit walking up to the mountaintops, right? It's almost like he's up in that cliff area already, right? And he's reflecting. He's viewed all of the changes up until now. He has all the evidence that he needs, but he's just, reflecting on it and making decisions about it. I think what's going to happen is by the end of the week, after you get everything started, you're going to have kind of a pause period. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull back, you're going to kind of pull into yourself, and you're going to just kind of check in with yourself and go, okay, this is what I wanted to start. I took the leap. How is it going? How does this feel? Let me look at everything and let me really go within. Let me look at the light within and ask myself, how does this feel? What is this doing? And how do I want to continue? So that's a very eventful week, guys. I really feel like that's beautiful energy. And definitely, the nice thing about having the wolf with the hermit is that you do go off by yourself towards the weekend, but then you will rejoin the pack eventually. If I had to guess, I would probably say that over the weekend, you might just kind of want some solitude to think and reflect about all the new things that you started that week. It's almost going to be kind of like a breather. But okay, so that's your week. That was really cool, guys. Go ahead and put your cards there. Put your turtle on top. Oh gosh, sorry, my head is hurting a little bit. I'm okay, but let me go ahead and get going on deck number 3. Deck number 3 is the Animal Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. So what is deck number 3's energy for the week? Deck number 3, what is our energy for the week? Let me try that a little bit better. Deck number 3, what is our energy for the week? What is our energy for the week? Oh, you got frog. What was so great is deck number 1 got rabbit, and your stone was rabbit, and now deck number 3 got frog, and their stone was frog. Coincidence, huh? I think not. Maybe we have some cross watchers. Okay, the middle of the week, deck number 3. Oh, thank you. And end of the week. What is our energy for the end of the week? I love the keywords on these cards. They're just so easy to read. End of the week, please. Okay, this wanted to flip out a minute ago, so we're definitely going to go with it. All right, beginning of the week. Beginning of the week. Beginning of the week. Oh gosh. Middle of the week. Middle of the week, please. And end of the week. End of the week. All right, so let's go ahead and see deck number 3. The beginning of the week, you've got Frog Spirit, which is clear out the clutter, and you got Squirrel Spirit, which is believe in yourself. And next to it, you have the Devil. And what's beautiful, again, this is the Spacious Tarot, and what's lovely about these cards is that everything is seen from a perspective. There's no humans. I think death is a skeleton, but other than that, there's no humans. And what you kind of see is you kind of see someone who looks like they're out in the forest at sunset, and it looks very bleak, and all of these trees look like they're almost like prison bars, right? And we just had a tarot on the Devil not too long ago, but the Devil is really being kind of trapped in your own head, being kind of a slave to your own fears and your own addictions and insecurities. So when I see the Frog card, especially in this deck, it definitely means, when it says clear out the clutter, it means kind of two things. It kind of means detox your environment, including yourself. You really want to cleanse your feelings, cleanse your aura, maybe take a nice bubble bath, maybe take a long hot shower. But definitely also when it comes to relationships, it could mean cleansing your body in a sense that maybe if you've had a little bit too much to drink, you might want to go ahead and drink more water, and really, or maybe do some kind of cleanse to get your system cleared out. If you've been, like me, I drink too much coffee. Sometimes I really have to have 3 days in a row of just half calf, to kind of cleanse the palate, and then eventually go to water only. And then you have Squirrel Spirit, and I get this card a lot. It really has sentimental meaning for me. But the Squirrel Spirit just says believe in yourself. I definitely get this card anytime you're having one of those moments where you're either having kind of a crisis of self-esteem, or you just feel like you're not yourself, like you're either afraid to be yourself or you're not being true to yourself. And in a minute, there's another card in the spread that kind of hints at that. But what it's kind of telling you is that at the beginning of the week, you're going to be kind of battling you're going to feel kind of codependent on something. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be anything like, it can be things, addictive substances like smoking or even sugar or candy or caffeine. But here, if it's saying things like believe in yourself, again, if you're trying to stick to a diet, it could be, keeping the energy to stay away from sweets. And, we're coming up on Valentine's Day, and that's very difficult to do. But I'm really kind of getting the vibe like this might be a little bit relationship related. And in that circumstance, it just kind of means detox your environment, detox what's around you, and detox yourself. Really be gentle with yourself, but definitely do a cleanse. And then it's also telling you to just believe in yourself. If you want to take an action, or if you have a thought that you believe to be correct, follow it. follow it. Don't be afraid. You know, don't. The other thing is that a lot of times the devil can be codependence in the sense that you might care what other people think, or you might be keeping up with the status quo even though it makes you miserable. And here it's just saying, have faith in yourself. Whatever choices you make, own them, right? But you do want to take the steps to kind of get out of this scary woods. You know, don't stay in a situation that makes you feel reliant or fearful or anything like that. You know, just believe in yourself and definitely cleanse your aura, and that's going to be very prevalent at the beginning of the week. By the middle of the week, oh, this is so cute. You got pig spirit, and it says use your mind wisely. And next to it, you got the Child of Wands, which is the Page of Wands. And I think this deck is so adorable because all of the wands suit is salamanders, and that's so great. And you can see he's holding a wand, and you can see it's like a magic wand. And the colors are very similar too. It's like, that's lovely. You see the pinks and the golds there in the pig's wings. But you've ever heard of the expression "when pigs fly," right? Here I'm kind of getting the vibe like it's telling you, okay, yeah, pigs can fly if you want them to, right? Just wave that magic wand, right? But it is telling you to use your mind wisely, and it's saying Child of Wands. So what this is telling me is that the Child of Wands is the Page of Wands, and usually the page is the novice. It's the immature energy, and that's action energy, right? The salamander is an action character. So what it's telling me is that, first off, I always read this card as kind of watch your thoughts. Energy follows thoughts. And if you had the devil in the beginning of the week, you might be catastrophizing in your mind. You might be faced with a few situations that are just really weighing on you. It's the other thing that I kind of get with this is that, with just to step back a minute, the believe in yourself. I think a lot of times when you see devil energy, it makes you act really out of character. Sometimes you have some really crazy things going on in your life, and it's the devil energy, you know. It's the energy making you feel chained to a circumstance. You know, you could be chained to grief, you could be chained to you know, and it also is stark fear. It's kind of being trapped in your own mind, right? When you see those bars, like these are trees, right? But when you look at it, you see bars. That's kind of like being trapped in your own mind. So by the middle of the week, it's really cautioning you. It's telling you that you are the Child of Wands. You are the novice with the magic wand, right? So what it's telling you is that it's letting you know that energy follows thought. So if you stay in this devil energy, if you stay thinking that you're surrounded by bars, that's where you're going to remain mentally. So to get out of that energy, to get to a better place, here it's showing you a pig with wings, right? A flying pig, right? So it's just telling you that anything is possible, right? Just use your mind wisely. It is also telling you, excuse me, oh, pardon me. Oh, that hurt. Oh, excuse me. Oh, gosh. Sorry, guys. I've really been kind of a mess. I apologize. But it's just letting you know that you are in kind of an impulsive energy by the middle of the week. You might kind of grab that wand and swing it around. But what it's telling you is, again, the fact that the magic from the wand is the same as the wings. It's almost like he's using the wand to create the wings, right? Like, you know, make that pig fly. But here I'm really just getting a vibe that you really, really want to get yourself into a good headspace. It's okay if you're using if you're in kind of a childlike mindset, that's fine, you know, but just know that this is an impulsive energy. It's a little bit of a fly off the handle energy. So if you are in a situation that's got you kind of fearful or feeling kind of stuck or trapped, just know that don't let your worries overcome you, and try not to fly off the handle. Try not to, create ideas in your head that aren't real and go chasing after those ideas as if they were real, is what I'm kind of seeing. And that's what I'm kind of seeing with the wings too. Again, how he said the magic wand looks like it's manifesting the wings, but pigs don't really fly in real life. So, you know, if you imagine that a pig could fly, in your own mind, you can make it happen. But just try not to fly off the handle. Try to keep your thoughts positive, and, you know, just try to keep them positive, and again, very detoxifying. Any thoughts, if you want to put your energy towards something from the beginning of the week towards the middle of the week, put it towards healing and cleansing things. Just kind of be gentle with yourself, and definitely just don't, you know, you want to stay away from any dark thoughts, and you really want to just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Now, by the end of the week, you have dog spirit, which is be loyal to what you love, and you got the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands, actually, in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, the Four of Wands is a real friends looking card. You see two persons standing under a canopy, and they're holding up flowers, and it almost looks like the end of a marriage, you know, ceremony. But here you have, in this deck, you have the two wands, and they look parallel to each other, right? It almost looks like 2 and 2. So here I am kind of getting a feeling as if you might be hanging out with a friend, a really good friend, by the end of next week, by the end of the week. And you know, what it's kind of saying is that I'm getting kind of two vibes off of these two cards. First thing it's telling me is, like, just like it's telling you to believe in yourself and to use your mind wisely, I think it's telling you to be loyal to your thoughts. If you take a course of action and you think that you might get pushback, stick with it, right? Be loyal to your ideas. Be loyal to yourself. If you feel like you have to, you know, do something that reflects what you love, what you want to do, or what you want to be very strong to that. Because the Four of Wands is also, it's a milestone card. It means achieving something. It means coming to a conclusion that's going to be like a place in your life of great victory and accomplishment. You know, so but I'm definitely also feeling that with the two parallel wands and with the dog, I think that you might, maybe by the end of the week, you might be hanging out with your friends, or at least one really good loyal friend, and you might be telling them or talking to them about it. And you notice how it kind of goes from, you know, the Child of Wands to the Four of Wands. I think that by talking to this person, you'll get kind of a sounding board, and I think it'll also help reinforce any insecurities that you've been feeling. They'll kind of reaffirm that you've been on the right path. And again, you don't have to be perfect at this. You know, you're the Child of Wands. So if this is, you know, the other thing about the Devil card is that addictions are cycles, right? Usually there's a pattern of something negative happening, and then you going into remission, and then you relapsing. So what it's kind of telling you is, you know, do your best. If you know, and also anxious thoughts can be the same way. You know, you try not to have them, but they kind of overcome you. But what it's telling you is that whatever you feel is kind of holding you down, you can definitely rise above it. You can rise above it, and, you know, seek out help if you need it. You know, talk to a trusted friend, because they will really give you perspective. The other thing about the Four of Wands is that they mirror one another. So you if you have a good friend that you trust their opinion, you trust their perception of a situation, you can kind of go to them and say, okay, this is what I've been dealing with, this is how I handled it, does that sound like the right course of action? And they'll let you, you know, they'll give you positive, you know, they'll give you their honest feedback. but also be loyal to your principles too. I know that sometimes when you're struggling with some type of, cycle or some kind of addiction, you lose faith in yourself. You think that you're weak, or you think, that things will never change. And I promise you, they do. They do. I know it feels really futile, but just, again, cleanse your body, cleanse your mind, if when in doubt, be true to yourself, be true to who you are. You do you, project you. And then, by the end of the week, be loyal to that. And, seek out friends or hang out with friends if you need someone to kind of, be with at the end of the week. All right, guys. Well, I thank you so much for hanging with me with my froggy voice. And tomorrow is Groundhog's Day, so Puxatani Phil will be either seeing his shadow or not seeing his shadow, and determining whether or not we'll have more winter or early spring. So I hope you enjoyed that format. If you liked it, please let me know in the comments below. We might do that again or something similar in the weeks to come. And thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye.